Shadowed Battlegrounds presents Swamp Shadows, Ghostly Encounters, and WWII Espionage in New Orleans. In the thick fog of a late autumn night during the turmoil of World War II, the German U-boat U-792 surfaced silently in the shallow waters south of New Orleans. Its mission was perilous and pivotal: to deploy a group of elite spies into Chalmette, Louisiana, where they were to sabotage the vital oil refineries fueling the American war effort. As the hatch opened, the operatives, led by the seasoned Captain Heinz Richter, slipped into the murky waters of the Mississippi River Delta. The moon, a mere sliver, barely illuminated their path as they reached the muddy shores. Unbeknownst to them, their landing site was not the outskirts of Chalmette, but a remote part of the swamp-infested wetlands surrounding it. As they trudged through the dense undergrowth, the sounds of civilization faded, replaced by the eerie chorus of the swamp. Frogs croaked their relentless symphony, and insects buzzed like electric currents in the humid air. Richter's map was useless here, the terrain unwelcoming and deceptive. The spies soon realized they were not alone. Shadows moved with stealthy fluidity just beyond the reach of their torches. Alligators, the ancient guardians of the swamp, watched silently from the black waters. Their eyes, like amber jewels, floated above the surface, tracking the intruder's every move. One night, as fog draped itself over the swamp like a ghostly shroud, whispers began to fill the air. At first, Richter thought it was his men muttering fears of their grim situation, but the words were not German, nor English. They echoed the sorrowful and vengeful tones of French and Spanish, languages of the long-gone settlers of this land. Tales of the swamp spoke of spirits, the lost souls of those who had once tried to tame these wetlands and paid with their lives. The spies, toughened by war, had scoffed at such stories, but here, enveloped by the spectral mist, the line between the living and the dead blurred. The mission, now secondary, turned into a desperate fight for survival. The swamp seemed to close in on them, thick vines and sharp thorns grabbing at their clothes like the hands of the restless dead. Panic spread as they witnessed spectral figures, shadowy outlines of men and women condemned to relive their tragic fates. Richter ordered a retreat back to the U-boat. As they made their harrowing journey back through the swamp, the haunting ceased at the water's edge, as if the spirits dared not tread beyond the natural boundary of their eternal prison. Exhausted and rattled, the men reached U-792. As they prepared to depart, believing themselves safe from the clutches of the swamp, the serene night was shattered by the roar of engines. American Coast Guard vessels descended upon them, tipped off by intercepted transmissions. In the ensuing chaos, the U-boat dove into the depths in an attempt to escape, but the Coast Guard was relentless. Depth charges rained down, explosions hammered the hull until it breached and began to take on water. As the submarine sank into the Gulf, Richter and his men were left to the mercy of the sea, a grave far kinder than the horrors of the swamp they had fled. And so, the U-boat U-792 met its end, not with the glory of battle, but with the whispers of the bayou and the ghosts of the past, forever part of the murky depths of the Gulf, would arise, beckoning them to new adventures.